off the charts. No idea why, but we're just going to run with it. I'm so excited to be here. I got YouTube up here. We got Instagram right here. Hey, Primal Voyage. Hi, Real Food, Real Life. I'm going to post in today what we're going to be chatting about in Instagram. Pin it there. What to do with cravings on keto. Hey, hi, happy Friday. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that it's the weekend. This week has just been like brutal, like absolutely brutal, but also very exciting. And in yesterday's live, we were talking a little bit about cravings, and one of you recommended that we talk about cravings today. So we're going to be chatting all about cravings on keto. If you have questions while I'm talking, feel free to post it in the boxes below in the comment sections, either on YouTube or Instagram. Crazy to see your face when I only usually hear your voice. Hey. I'm doing this thing where I don't wear makeup. It's been a couple of months and I am totally loving it. I've always been so afraid of going on like any sort of online thing or seeing people in real life without makeup, but face without makeup, it's just so much easier, right? Okay, so if you're new around these parts and you're like, oh my gosh, Leanna's been doing so many lives, what is going on? Well, I wrote a new book. Here, I'll show you all the things. I wrote this book, the Keto Diet Cookbook. I love it. It's by far my favorite thing ever. And I was going to do a book tour, but I'm in the process of finishing up my third paperback book called Keto for Women. It comes out June 18th. And between that and life stuff and work stuff and Healthful Pursuit stuff, I couldn't make it work. So I'm doing a virtual tour, which is way, way, way cooler because I get to connect with you guys like almost every day and answer your questions. And it's so much better. I know that I'll never, ever be able to meet all of you in person, but I find these sorts of lives and these intimate gatherings are really powerful as well. So I won't be going on tour for this book or my Keto for Women book, but I'll be doing these virtual events. And I chatted with Perfect Keto, one of my like best friends. Everyone at Perfect Keto is amazing. And they put together a coupon code for everyone that joins me on these virtual events. You can use the coupon code Cookbook20 at Perfect Keto for 20% off all of their full-size goodies. Will this book be available at Costco? Okay, so before we start talking about cravings, I'll just kind of explain where you can get my cookbook. So in Canada, you can find this in Costco, Chapters, Indigo, basically all bookstores. I'm not too sure about Walmart, but I know it's in Costco and should be there. Now, for Americans, this book is not in Costco, but you can find it at Target, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, basically any other bookstore. So it's not in Costco in the US, but it is in Costco in Canada. Then pretend I'm holding up this beautiful book with a picture of me on the cover. There's pink. It says Keto for Women on it. And that's my upcoming book coming out June 18th. You guys can find out more by going to ketoforwomen.com. I included that link right here in the little pinned comment. And also if you're watching this on YouTube, you can get it in the comments below. And when you pre-order Keto for Women, not only do you lock in the best price, you also don't pay until June 18th, and you're entered to win one of 3 VIP memberships into my Happy Keto Body program, which gives you lifetime keto coaching. Guys, seriously, that's unreal. So you guys can get all the details over at ketoforwomen.com. And again, by pre-ordering, you actually don't pay for the book today. You pay for it June 18th. So that's a huge help for yourself in saving money, but also for me, because if we get up to 1,000 pre-orders of the book, we can guarantee that the book will actually be in bookstores, because just because an author writes a book doesn't mean that it's going to hit stores. So by pre-ordering a copy, you're guaranteed to get a copy. If we don't hit that goal, I hope we do, because the message that I've shared in Keto for Women is something that's so powerful to me and would have been so helpful had I had that message when I was starting my ketogenic journey. And just to like give myself permission to like focus on myself and advocate for my own health, And so that's everything to do with Keto for Women. There was a question about where can you get all of these amazing books if you're not in the US or Canada? The best thing to do is go to your bookstore and ask them if they have a title from Leanne Vogel and if they can order one for you. Pretty simple stuff. You can also get it on Amazon and many of the Amazon websites across the world. And I don't know if it'll be translated. I'm hoping that I included, just like all my other books, I included metric measurements. So you don't need to worry about that for all the recipes. I'm Canadian. I didn't grow up with metric measurements, but I know it's super, super important for most of us. So there's that. Okay. So now that all of that is out of the way, I don't actually have a copy of Keto for Women right now. I'm going to Staples directly after this live, and I'm going to print one off just so I can show you guys as we're doing these book readings, because it's really helpful for me to like read instead of use my computer to do so. So I'm just going to like move my phone a little bit, make sure YouTube is good, and I'm going to read from page 38 of Keto for Women, which is my title that's coming out on June 18th. Again, you guys can go to ketoforwomen.com to pre-order a copy. So the title is all about cravings. As you embark on your keto journey, you're bound to experience cravings here and there. This is totally normal. Like, don't freak out about it, particularly in your first few weeks. Don't worry, these cravings are a natural response to becoming fat adapted. When you're starting out, your body is accustomed to burning glucose as its primary fuel. With keto, you're training it to burn your fat stores instead. As your glycogen reserves are depleted, your body may briefly panic, and the result will be a craving, usually for carbohydrates. Rest assured, your cravings will subside as you become fat adapted, but they may get worse before they get better. I'm just going to check in, make sure there's no questions. Hi from California. Hey, Keto Mom to 4. Thanks so much for your video this morning. That was super beautiful. When a craving hits, there are a number of positive actions you can take. Okay, you ready? So I outlined 6 positive actions with really cute graphics. I wish you guys could see this. It's really cute. Okay, the first one is reach for nutrient-dense foods instead of high-carb bombs. Great choices are avocados, eggs, salmon, kale, coconut, dark chocolate with no added sugar, bone broth, and fermented foods. So that's step 1. Step 2, get your hands on a high-fat snack. You may think that you want carbs, but your body really is looking for fat. When a carb craving hits, eat some healthy, high-fat foods and watch in amazement as the craving disappears. I like to drizzle coconut oil over macadamia nuts and a sprinkle of salt and dig in. Guys, seriously, you must try this. What if you don't get cravings? I'm about a month and a week in. That's awesome. That's so great. Congratulations. You've hacked the system. Keto Mom to 4. Yeah, thank you for being awesome and reminding us that we are not just keto. Amen, sister. I just pre-ordered. So excited. I'm so excited too. Okay, the third thing you can do is check for hidden sugar. So a lot of cravings can happen on keto when we don't know that we're actually still eating a lot of sugar. Like a great example of this is I went out for dinner with a friend a couple of years ago, and she was starting out on the ketogenic diet, and she ordered, we went out for barbecue, I think it was a couple of years ago, and she ordered coleslaw. And I just said, oh, interesting that you chose the coleslaw. And she's like, why? I'm like, well, I just find unless I ask them specifically if they add sugar, then I won't order coleslaw, because oftentimes people add a lot of white sugar to their coleslaw. And although you might think it's like a perfect keto food, like cabbage, mayonnaise, oh my gosh, it can always have sugar. Like I find 9 times out of 10 it has sugar. So just make sure that you're always checking for that hidden sugar. And once you get adapted to keto, I find that I can go like a little bit, not overboard, but I can have a little bit more sugar than I could before and not experience cravings. Cravings, especially carb cravings, are your cue to reassess what you're eating to make sure there aren't any hidden sugars in the foods you're choosing. Just summarize what I just said. Number 4, up your protein. Try increasing your protein intake by adding collagen to your coffee, opting for bacon-wrapped chicken breast, or sipping on bone broth between meals. So if you're finding like you're just craving things and you can't get a sense of stuff, bone broth is a fabulous way to help balance things out. It's great for your gut. It's got lots of protein in it, and it's just overall healthy, awesome, helps you get rid of like wrinkles, helps your hair grow really fast. and all the things. Oh, also helps with bloat. I think I missed some questions here. I've been doing keto since November 2017, and I still get really bad cravings once in a while, and I end up eating everything. What can I do? I'm so happy you brought this up, Canadian keto mama. I think really, if it's only happening once a while, it's probably because you're not eating enough, generally speaking. Like, I find that if I go a couple of days or a couple of weeks by not eating enough, and maybe I'm restricting too much, then I'll have this like all out eat fest. Like when we got back from the Bahamas, where I was pretty restrictive about our food because we didn't have a lot of it, and I didn't provision as well as I probably should have. When we came back to the United States for a little while, I was like eating everything. I couldn't stop eating. And that was probably because I had been under eating for a while. So I really want to preface this whole cravings conversation around the fact that sometimes you just crave food because you need food and you're not eating enough. And I want to be really, really, really clear with that, because a couple of years ago, I would have said, just try harder, push through the craving. But if you're coming from a diet mentality, especially with your ketogenic diet or any diet that you try, if you're constantly restricting and not listening to your body will rebel at one point or another and just like force you to eat all the things. Now, to avoid this situation, make sure that you're eating enough on a daily basis and you're really tapping in to your intuition. Am I hungry? Am I not? And just kind of flow with it, because you'll find when you do that, there are less overall binges when it comes to food, and you'll be able to just be happier and more comfortable with your body and your food. Yes, I still take a sugar cheat sheet with me because I can't remember which ones are high on the index. I make my own coleslaw, mayo, sour cream, vinegar, and lemon. That sounds amazing. Right now, I don't have cravings as much anymore. It's more of a habit to have something small once in a while. How do I get rid of that habit? A lot of it has to do with like your emotional attachment to food. And I've really realized over the last I would say over the last year, that there's really nothing wrong with having an emotional connection to food. I have strong memories around certain foods, and when I'm feeling a certain way, I gravitate toward those foods. So it might be helpful for you to kind of look at how you are, like what kind of foods you're gravitating toward at what time, and then reassess kind of what your relationship is with that food and if you want to continue that relationship. If you guys are just joining, because I'm seeing a bunch of people flood in, I'm just reading from my upcoming book, Keto for Women. You can find out more by going to ketoforwomen.com. Pre-ordering is open right now. And if you go to ketoforwomen.com, there are a bunch of ways that you can pre-order, from Amazon, Books A Million, all the places, Indigo, Chapters. So head on over to ketoforwomen.com to pre-order your copy. I'm going to continue reading in just a moment. And when you pre-order, you don't have to pay until June 18th. Excuse me. You don't have to pay until June 18th. You lock in the lowest price that the book will be between now and then. And it really helps me out so that we can print enough copies so that the world can get this book. Okay. The fifth strategy you can use when you're hit with cravings on your ketogenic diet: remove as many temptations from your living space as possible, and be mindful of why you started eating keto in the first place. Maybe you're on this path for weight loss, increased strength, better moods, or reduced anxiety. Keep that goal in mind and let it give you the strength to hang in there. So I'm on the fence about step number 5, and I always like to include a bunch of different strategies in all of my books, even though I may not use that strategy personally, because we have different needs, all of us. And although I have learned that keeping things out of my house doesn't stop me from eating those things, like if I'm craving something and I've had a really bad day and I've been restricting for a really long time, no amount of not keeping ice cream, cakes, and cookies in the house is going to stop me from eating ice cream, cakes, and cookies. I'm a grown-ass woman. I will get in my car and I will find all the cakes and cookies and ice cream, and then I will eat them in my car, right? So avoiding putting junk food or quote unquote bad food in your house may not help. It's really, really a matter of the relationship that you have to the goal that you want. And I always find that throughout all of our goals, there's always a feeling that we're going toward and not necessarily a goal. So if you're the type of person that you want to lose weight, let's just say you want to lose 40 pounds. Well, why? Why do you want to lose those 40 pounds? How will your life be different when you lose those 40 pounds? What feelings do you want to feel when you lose those 40 pounds? And I would have to say that if, just based on my personal experience, if the feelings that you want to feel are like people accepting you, people praising you, or just that external validation of your body, I can tell you right now, losing those 40 pounds is not going to make you feel any better. I've been there. It doesn't work. You can try it. Let me know what you think. But chances are you'll probably still be unhappy with yourself. And deep, deep, deep down, you know this, and you are an intuitive being. You know that this is the truth. And that's why you keep defaulting into your previous patterns, because deep down, you very much know, your heart knows that losing those 40 pounds is not going to change the relationship that you have with your body, is not going to validate you in any way. And so really, really get honest with yourself. Why are you doing this? Why is this important to you? For me, it was a matter of, I wanted my period back. I really, really wanted my period back. And that's what fueled me to go forward. And now that I have my period back, and it's been, I don't know, since 2015 that I've been getting a period every month, now it's a matter of just maintaining my health and maintaining my hormone balance so that I can continue to live an awesome life. And so get very, very clear on what's important to you and changing that mindset. Okay, the sixth thing you could try when you're hit with a craving on keto is be open to feeling hunger. So we chatted about this a little bit. Hunger is a brand new experience for many of us. Try to embrace it as such. And know that once you become fat adapted, your hunger cues will be subtle, not sharp, as they often are when you're glucose dependent. So understand that your cravings are going to change over time. And now when I experience a craving, it's like this light, airy thing of like, you want this, not like, oh, I need this right now. Do you know? Like, you can feel the difference. I ate a ton of keto muffins one month made of a lot of flax and had horrendous PMS right after. My doctor thinks I'm crazy for thinking that there's a correlation. There is a correlation. Flax can increase estrogen. So that could be very real, that by eating all that flax, you actually increased your estrogen slightly, which caused you to experience more PMS. Nothing really you need to do other than like stop eating that much flax. Yeah. Cravings aren't to be feared. Rather, they are your body's way of alerting you for an opportunity to address an issue. They can be understood, embraced, and conquered. Often when you're experiencing a craving, often what you're craving can tell you a lot about what your body needs. For example, sometimes you're experiencing certain cravings because your body needs a specific nutrient it's not getting. Now, nutrient can be like an actual nutrient like magnesium, or it could be a nutrient of like, just eat something. Since starting keto in July, I'm happy to say that I no longer have sugar cravings. There are times I allow myself a piece of chocolate or a chocolate mug cake and HWC, but no more than once a week, made without any sweeteners at all. Yeah, just really listen to your body. And like, it's really not rocket science. It really, really isn't. But we're told that we can't trust our bodies, and then all this mistrust comes up. And then when we want something, we feel like we can't have something, so we don't have that something. And then that something turns into this big thing, and then we end up eating all the things, and then we go off our plan and we feel really horrible, and then we don't start our diet till the following month when we've gained all this weight, and now we feel even more horrible about ourselves, and we feel totally helpless. Okay, the reason all this happened is because we didn't just listen to our body when we wanted a banana, right? Like, seriously. Okay, so then there's this table in Keto for Women where I outline, if you're craving something like sweets, your diet may be lacking in chromium, phosphorus, sulfur, tryptophan, or carbon. You could try eating more fresh fruits, chicken, beef, liver, horseradish, kale, raw nuts and seeds, cranberries, cabbage, sweet potatoes, spinach, and turkey. Now you're like, Leanne, some of those foods are not keto. In the book, I outline which foods are best for the imbalances that you're experiencing and how to incorporate higher carb foods into your diet. So if you're like, cranberries, how the heck would I introduce those? They're too high in carbs. You could practice a thing called carb ups. I actually did a video and live about that yesterday. So if you missed it, watch it on YouTube or watch it on Facebook. It's up on there for life. Another example, if you're craving coffee, your diet might be low in sulfur, salt, iron, or phosphorus. You could eat fish, whole eggs, liver, onions, garlic, bell peppers, greens, seaweed, apple cider vinegar, and spinach. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I need a coffee right now, like just the taste of coffee, the thought of coffee, the smell of coffee, it could be a sign that either you need some coffee or you need to up those specific foods. Another example, it's cheese. You could be lacking in calcium or intimate connection. Yeah. So eat more fat, walnuts, and fatty fish, plus make sure you're getting plenty of hugs and intimate snuggles from the people you love. Seriously, these loving actions will actually create the same hormonal response as eating cheese. Right? Yeah. What if you really like coffee? Drink coffee. Is it crazy how much my cravings have it is crazy how much my cravings have changed. Never craved much meat before, but now I do. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see over the coming weeks, months, years of eating keto, how your cravings change. Like, I'm going through this huge episode right now where I cannot get enough shrimp in my body. I don't even really like shrimp, but like every day I'm just like gravitating towards shrimp. I could eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and probably have over the last couple of weeks. I cannot get enough of it. So it's really, really important that we listen to our body and that we understand that there's so much more that we don't understand. And that by reading books, even this book or Keto for Women, or my first book that's so heavy I can barely lift it. Not actually, but it's pretty heavy. That these are just templates, but it's not the be all end all, right? So it's really, really important that you listen to your body. And if you have no idea how to do that, follow a program that encourages you to do so and doesn't have like a 1, 2, 3 step, this is it, you're welcome, because that can be quite toxic for a lot of us, especially those that have been dieting for so long. We've come to keto because we've just had enough of this already, and we want to really build a life that we can be happy about and not obsessive about. So that's what I wanted to read to you guys today. There are a bunch of stuff in that table, like what to do if you're craving breads and salt and fatty or carb-heavy snacks, carbonated drinks, chocolate, sweets, all the things. So I'm not going to go through them all. It's a little teaser. If you guys haven't already ordered my book coming out June 18th called Keto for Women, you can do so now. You lock in the best price. You don't pay until June 18th, and you're entered to win my 12-week video training program for women, a VIP membership, which gives you lifetime coaching and access to me over chat. We do calls. There are tons of videos and worksheets and everything. Information is not duplicated in Keto for Women. So the two combined are just like so juicy and awesome and amazing. So you guys can find out more by going to ketoforwomen.com. And if anything, pre-ordering helps me a whole bunch, like more than you'll ever know. Bookstores take me seriously. And the printer will print off enough books for us to be able to distribute them properly. So if we don't get high pre-order numbers, the books might not be in bookstores. So the best thing you can do for yourself is, if you're interested in Keto for Women, is go to ketoforwomen.com, check out all the ways to pre-order, and lock in the best price. Don't pay until June 18th, and you're guaranteed a copy if this goes totally sideways and goes nowhere. I'm hoping that's not the case, but you never know. I just joined a little bit late. How about craving salty food all the time? Yeah, I covered that. I didn't cover that today, so you're all good. That is in the book, where I say that you could be lacking in chloride or silicone rather, and then how to adjust for it. I don't like coffee, so I don't do bulletproof, aka fatty coffee in the mornings. Any other fatty drinks I can drink in the mornings? Yeah. Hold, please. In the Keto Diet Cookbook, let's see if I know where it is. I might not. Okay, so there is a recipe called Hey Girl that I drink a lot. I have no idea where it is. So look up Hey Girl. And there's another one, Super Breakfast Combo, page 148. It's in this book. Those are my two favorites. Does coffee tax our adrenal system, though? I have heard that it does from other professionals that say you should quit coffee. It does if your adrenals are in balance, but if they're not and you're fine, then why cut out another food group? And I do consider coffee a food group. Rocket Fuel Latte is amazing. Yeah, that's another good one. You can find the Rocket Fuel Latte recipe in this bad boy. So, I mean, oh my gosh, now that I have the trilogy of books, this is great for beginners and really getting set on your ketogenic diet. This is great for meal plans and really understanding food and shopping and things. And pretend I'm holding up Keto for Women right now. This is great for all ladies on keto. If you have imbalances or you're feeling lost or you're sick of the rules and you just want to like build a system that works well for you and your body and empowers you to be an advocate to your own health. Awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, guys. I'll try to do a live this weekend, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. And as always, it has been such a blast, and I'm just so happy we get to do these virtual events. And thank you, like legit, thank you for pre-ordering my book. It means more to me than you can ever know to be able to do this work in the world and to have your guys' support and be able to help as many women as I can. It is such a gift that I have been given to do this kind of work. It's just so fulfilling. And thank you for spending time with me. Okay, bye. Bye, guys.